I don't think we need to waste the viewers or our time talking about and previewing this fight, because I think we can schedule in this will probably be a knockout or it'll probably be a decisive win. I think what we really need to do is, where is Tim Tszyu in the sport currently? Where do you see Tim currently in this division?
I think he's a fantastic fighter. I think he's a legitimate champion. We've been waiting for the Jermell Charlo fight now for about a year, and we've been thinking we're going to get it, and we're not getting it. So there's always a letdown. But Ocampo is a very, very credible opponent, very good opponent. And I think that Tim Tszyu is one of the 3 or 4 best guys at 154 pounds, and he just kind of needs the big fight, the signature fight.
I think he's also, I love my awards. I think right now, mid-year awards, there's only 2 guys in the running for mid-year awards. It's Gervonta Davis and Tim Tszyu. I think if Tim gets another knockout, we're just kind of looking at who finishes the year stronger, because one could say, well, Gervonta beat Ryan, that's a bigger win, or he beat Hector Luis Garcia. One could also say Tony Harrison, proven guy, more proven at that weight class.
Absolutely.
And I think Ocampo gave Sebastian Fundora a trickier fight than people expected. You could, devil's advocate, say Tim Tszyu is fighting world-class guys, formidable guys consistently, and Gervonta might be getting advantages over his opponent. I don't know who I'd favor. I'd probably favor Gervonta in mid-year awards because his fights have mattered, but I think Tim is like 1A, 1B with him right now.
I agree, and I frankly, I think that his wins have been a little bit more
iconic.
Yeah, honestly, and I think that Tank beating Ryan, that's a great fight and all that. But I felt like that was going to happen the whole buildup. Like the fight went exactly how I thought it was going to go, so that it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, whereas Tim's taking fights where I'm like, I don't know, it's 50-50. I'm not really sure. We're going to learn where he stands, and he's passing every test with flying colors.
I think that what's impressive to me is he beat Tony Harrison, and people wondered how would the Charlo fight look. And that's the sign of someone that's really right there in a fighter of the year contender, because he went from entering this year to, I think a lot of people looked at him as, this is the son of a former fighter, he's a hype job, to people looking at, this is one of the best fighters in the division. I think that one performance told people he's way better than I expected him to be.
Yeah, and I also beating God, now I'm going to forget his fucking name. Terrell Gaucher, that's a fantastic win as well. That's a legitimate certified contender.
World, that's the Hall of Very Good. Terrell Gaucher hanging out with Jose Pedraza in the rec center, They're right there in that hall. Things break another way. They're right. But I mean, he's beaten the guys that aren't what he is. They lose to those guys.
Exactly.
That's the thing, right? And I think that the issue I have with Tank is he's beating the guys he should beat, but he's putting them in the hole to start. He's bringing a smaller man up in weight. He's got Garcia at some
bringing a bigger man down in weight.
Yeah, it's just, there is something to be said for Tim Tszyu just fighting guys that are tough in his weight class.
I also think that Tank is sort of the last of the post-Mayweather era fighters, and being managed by Mayweather, there's still the Mayweather mentality around making a fight where it's like, well, I'm the man, so we do things my way. And I don't think a lot of the youngins are playing that bullshit anymore, and so it's not a good look for Tank.
If you were to vote right now, and let's say hypothetically Tim beats Carlos Ocampo, which we don't want to assume, but we'll just say in a theoretical world that happens, because I think that honestly a lot of people are tuning in next week to see Tim perform more than they're tuning in to see Tim be tested. I think this is more like you're going to see like the Strokes or one of these rock bands go play Radio City Music Hall, rather than you're going to see them with the Rolling Stones and you're going to go, who's the better one? Who put on the better? I think this is more, you're going to see Tim Tszyu. This is a friggin' awesome fighter. Right now, gun to your head or $100,000 on the line, who would you vote for, Tim or Gervonta?
It's not easy. It's not easy, but I think, I mean, I think just off of the significance of the one win, you'd have to go Tank, but I don't know. I could be swayed the other way.